All right, we're coming to Evora. Got a, well, I don't know if celebrity is the right term, but a guy whose name I recognize and I'm very excited to have within my game, and it's kind of cool to run into Nuk Tamaron. For those of you who don't know that name, he made a AI War Fleet Command series of videos several years ago, probably like 6 or 7 years ago at this point, and I think they're fucking amazing, and that's one of my favorite games of all time. So, yeah, if you like that game, go check out this dude's... Oh, he, like a tutorial thing on explaining the game and how it functions, and like a little walkthrough since it's such a complex game. That's what he did, and I think they're really well done. So it's cool to just run into him since I've been watching that for years now, on and off. Just dipping in and rewatching the tutorial every so often. Kind of funny for that to happen. Anyways, countdown has started. We're on Evora. Team 1 ANS, Team 2 OSP. 4 points. So Evora often turns into quite a bloodbath, fighting over all these points that are pretty close together. It's, what is this, like 20 clicks across? 10? Yeah, so 20 from spawn to spawn. But there's not a lot of long sight lines, but there are a ton of medium length sight lines, especially vertical ones. As we can see here. Be easier to see if we could zoom in. Probably going to be dropping down with the ANS team based on these engine configurations, yeah. Alright, so we got a voxel, looks like a gun voxel, and probably a support E-War Reigns here. Who is this? Oh good, we have a disconnect. Okay, I'm gonna keep going through these just in case these guys want to stay. So we got support Reigns, E-War and point defense. Got a gun voxel, yeah, with some also a little bit of E-War on it. Interesting. Scout with a gun on it. That's a very safe scout. That is not gonna get sniped by a missile or two. Sarissa Reigns. A pair of Bernards. Container ship. Trying to deal with that. Gun voxel. Gun Reigns. Couple of S2s. S2Hs, all these sprinters. Kind of Axford. Scout. I'm not doing a very good job of this. Mark II. Interesting. Some gun Axfords with missile support on them. And then E-War Reigns. Container ship. With not that many missiles, so this is probably pretty fucking expensive. I think those block missiles might be ripped out of the Discord though, so no telling if he's that good at using them. Some gunships. Nice. 3 of them. with 450 broadsides and good point defense. Plus support. Man, these can't have like anything inside of them. Just, well, yeah, 3 ammo elevators. It's not the best internals, but it's still good. 3 shivs? That's fucking impressive. And we got the gunship, a solo pair. Mines have gone out. We got lifeboats coming off of ships that never dropped down to begin with, which is awesome. Just truly high intensity gaming here. Position behind this asteroid? Odd. Surprised he's not pushing on to Alpha.
The enemy is securing zone dagger.
Rizek's gonna be able to get this before these mines arm. And then he can just leave. No small ships out of the OSP team. Just big boys, which is going to make it hard for them to play the points game. Quite hard. The AS team doesn't seem that interested in pushing. This group is... Cletus McGreedy is pushing. What's Wavefire doing? Okay. Wavefire's the gunship team. Bro, what are you doing with this? I'm just waiting for something to come off of these and slam into one of these gunship. Oh, and do an immense amount of damage. Friendly fire. Who's ready for some friendly fire? Okay, no, it got away. Lame. Seems a little overkill. But, if they manage to hit this thing, that'll certainly kill them. Containers and sprinters are about the same size. Gun Axford teams pushing forward, not bow tanking, doing the weird this thing that happens when you tell Axfords to shoot and don't mind their position and their heading. They seem to be in tight formation with this, which is really going to fuck around with their ability to maneuver effectively. It's not good. Damn shame about this guy DCing. Okay, it seems like they're just going to play it out, which means this might go up, and if it has, I apologize for my crappily handling of the early game, or of the opening, I should say. I was just not expecting anything to go on. This guy's bringing things forward. Medic mines down, medic mine down. Yeah, these experts are going to be able to handle these mines. This is why just dumping mines onto point is often not a good idea, because they don't delay anyone who has brought point defense. They couldn't even keep this guy from, this lone sprinter from capping, and then all these mines are going to get cleaned up.
The enemy is
Whoa, 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 whoa! Okay, they missed. More containers coming out, but they're sniffing the chaff. Some of them looping back around. Oh, just not enough maneuverability to hit anything, though. 1 hit. 2 hits on this Axford, maybe even more. I don't know. These might just be 2 very beefy containers. Ooh, one on this other Axford, Alpha Centauri. These things are just ruined. Vigil Kentaurus and Alpha Centauri both beat to hell. So we have a Sid Meier's fan here. I mean, there are a lot of things that those star names could be pulled from, and planet names. I think Alpha Centauri. I think Sid Meier's. Maybe that's just me. We got this sprinter here going for an arc. Trying to find something, anything. No one trying to cap Alpha. And this voxel team is going to be moving in. Dora Kiora. Moving in on that. Missiles coming after. Oh, that hybrid could get through. Yeah, that's some damage, but I think these standard S2s are not getting through this absurd flak barrage. Hybrids out of the Sprinter, though, very effective. Decent damage, really good damage on this, but I think it's taking some gunshots as well. Yeah, we can see those gunshots coming in now. Another hybrid hit. Firing off some missiles of his own. I don't know, these are from the container ship. Not sure where these are going. Presumably arcing around the outside of this rock and trying to come up here and snake some hits in on these. Finish them off. Pretty good idea. Bonk. And these things are damaged. They've certainly output more power than they've lost, though. Although just standing and delivering with those casemates are not dead, especially with without a lot of internals. Really gonna need to do the reloads on that. There's not much cover for them to take. Tracking this Axford is pretty decent. Oh, this thing's getting killed. Checking on the other team.
Enemy is securing zone Atlas.
Oh. Okay, those are fine. So that's gonna be fine. Anus team taking Alpha. Like, looks like the Anus team is going to be taking this game probably. I mean, it's not that surprising, but the OSP is just sort of chilling in their spawn in a ball. And you can't really be doing that. You need to be moving out on the map. I know they're down a guy, but that's not that big of a deal, especially since they just waxed Cletus McGreedy pretty effectively. They have the infinite container dance over here, not enough maneuverability to land. But enough fuel to stay in flight for a long, long time. Oh, they broke off. Missiles coming out of Tamaron. And we've seen against the standard 200s, this team is highly effective. I don't think defenders are going to be that good, but the flak absolutely will. Yeah, 200 spam is hard countered by flak. By the way, did you forget to put seekers on these things? Might be illuminators and the target might not be illuminated. Or they might have just been fired. But bad spot. Anus taking Alpha. This, we got this, we got this. This is dying. But generally speaking, the OSP ships are in pretty good health. I mean, there's RPF going into these Ocellos, which is going to do almost nothing. There's... yeah, and that one's at full health, and this one's taking a little bit of damage. From the mass driver that occasionally flies in off of this destroyer. But yeah, RPF is definitely not what you want against Ocellos. Yeah, coming out of Tamaron's team. His hybrids are doing work, but oh, I think he's about to die. Yeah, this Voxel's in big trouble. It's taking just enough damage from the gunfire that the Ford PD wasn't firing, and these containers were able to come in and just eradicate that ship. Well, that's pretty much dead. No restores, and all that remains is dry, and now not even a drive. And it's able to take Alpha completely uncontested, but the teams who have gone to Charlie have ran into the entire OSP team, even though they're down a member. That's enough firepower to just kill things very quickly, as we saw in this. Voxel died extremely fast once they started fighting. And of course these Axfords have also effectively been destroyed. I mean, this is still technically alive, and so is this. It's actually firing. It has one gun in operation. I don't know how much longer that's going to last. This destroyer about to be annihilated by all the gunfire collectively, and then a few containers. And no battle shorts in those Auroras, unfortunately. Glonk. Oh, it's gone. Beyond gone. This Axford's slowly being cleaned out now that that thrust has been deflected and the main threat is gone. Yeah. think so, Chief. Oh, he does not have anywhere near enough point defense. McGree taps out. Axford's still sort of alive, and he's out of here. He's done. Okay. Spotter Sprinter. It's kind of anyone's game at this point, because OSP has dealt out significantly more damage than they've taken, but they also don't have any points, and they're balled up over here in a pretty slow-moving group. Looks like this Bulker team is going to try to move in. Still firing at these grayed out ships. What munitions does this have? What the hell is this locked by? Either this sprinter or this sprinter. Tamiran getting into the back line. And, oh my. This hybrid is absolutely going to hit. There's no way this thing dodges it. It has no point defense. Don't do this. Point defense is required even on a container ship, by the way. Well, he might be able to dodge by dipping behind this mountain, but I don't think so. I smell something. I think it's the Ocello, though. Yeah, it's the Ocello. Ooh, one did go into this, right into the drive section. It's the chaff! So that missile's gonna miss. That's gonna land. I think a couple of these other ones are too. Oh yeah. He's burning on flank, trying to get around behind cover. Analysis annex and an intelligence center. I mean, that's not a bad idea to bring those on a container ship, just to help your team. It's actually a rather good idea. Ooh, didn't quite get through. But yeah, you need point defense on these Chevo. Fortunately, those S2H, with their size 1 warheads, don't do that much to Ocellos. Oh, I say that, but that one got through. The first one that hit didn't do hardly any damage, but the second one definitely did. These corkscrew maneuvers very effective against the defenders. Normally, I suggest people don't put terminal maneuvers on their sprinters, but this has been paying off for him. Whoa. One of the Axfords exploded. One of the Axfords that got container spammed. Bastions, though, can handle the corkscrews not too poorly. Straight lines would have flown through and been fast enough to land, probably. So, I don't know. I feel neutral about it. Guaranteed a few hits and might have lost a few hits. Oh, boy. Wait, where are these going? I thought he was firing all these at the sprinter. Which would have been a colossal waste, so I'm glad he didn't do that. What is this? Oh, this is the guy that surrendered when the game started. I don't know why his drives are on. This is really weird. Containers just kind of going. They don't seem to have any sort of direction behind them. It's going to be a colossal waste of munitions anyways. Tarakura just hanging. We're in the point game. No one going to Bravo just yet. Rizok might be? Seems to be content to not do that. Speaking of content to not do something, seems like the OSP fleet is pretty content to not try to cap any points. If they get far enough behind, and we might be there already, this could just be a straight loss for them, even though they've been performing pretty well militarily. Knocked out Cletus McGree and destroyed 2 major ships from Tamiran. Oh man, gunfire going into Rizuk. Wow, that is extreme range. This is taking much longer to get here than I was expecting. Whoa. So not the best track on this guy. Might be an EW. Nah, it's not an EWR, but it's definitely not a lock. Couple hits. Fortunately, I think, yeah, his counter track, he has a lock from that the scouting sprinter up here. If this guy stops maneuvering, then the poor track won't matter. Turn on evasive maneuvers. He's not going to do it. Container player just can't learn that you really, it's almost impossible to kill a sprinter of a player that's paying attention with a container. They're just not maneuverable enough. This Axford is going to be able to get fire out. No, don't get behind cover. Keep shooting. Your opponents have to reload. Oh, dear. Yeah, those 3 ammo elevators do work, though, but you better get behind cover now. And he is. Rizak maneuvering very effectively around this asteroid here. I know I called one a mountain earlier. Don't crucify me for that, please. Thanks. OSP finally capping Charlie. The Shinobi from Wave Fire, our resident gold. That emptied out the lobby. Yeah, he kept switching teams just to mess with people. And a bunch of people left. Because they're little babies and don't know how to... They're completely terrified to fight someone with a gold label. Even though that has no bearing on the player's actual skill. Only time played. And while the two correlate and they are not causal. A lot of A&Ms coming out of this, but it is not going to be enough. Huge hit. Oh man, I think this is about to go down. Hits have been pretty evenly spread, but the rear end of the ship is in big trouble. Oh, no? RPF might save the day. It's just going to miss. Amazing. The services will clean it up, or it'll fly into an asteroid. That works too. Main damage on Rizak's vessel. He's going to be in big trouble when these 450s open up, as they are, I think, gearing up to do. Yeah, those are flashing. Those are flashing. They're trying to so hard. He's just barely staying in cover. Oh, they're firing at a different target now. Okay. Might have been position firing to change the load and forgot to change it. I don't know. Yeah, I think this is an ANS victory here. Batch of containers coming out. What would you call a group of containers? A herd? Batch, as I just have. A team? No, give me back. An Ulster. A squad of containers. A squid of containers. A murder of containers. There we go. Thank you, pros. Ooh, yeah, see if you get the angling on the point defense, this thing can handle itself quite well. What are y'all shooting at? Oh, they're shooting at the DCers fleet. It's trying so hard to stay alive. Let's get away from the DC noise. Yeah, thrusters are in bad shape, but I've certainly seen worse. ANS team better be quick about this. It's no. There's no way. They're a OSP team. We'll see though. I'm gonna keep recording because the last game that I stopped recording halfway through, and obviously no one here saw that, I just sort of sat back and watched it, leaned back, had a good time, and it turned into a pretty good game. It was looking like a one-sided slam fest with no action, but it turned into a really good game. And it also started with a guy leaving. Halfway through it was kind of like this, where there's just nothing going on, and I was like, okay, well this is it. Bom bom. Guess I'm gonna shut the stream off and I'm gonna do other stuff, but turned into a pretty good game, so I'm sticking around on this one. And if it made it up, that means it eventually turned into a good game. Well, it started off as a good game too. This fight on Charlie was great. It's just been slowed and positional. Ooh, this Sicilia's about to be in big trouble. One. Just one. Okay, not as big trouble as I was expecting. Rizak, bro, you don't want to engage the entire fleet of your opponents. Alright, OSP finally on the scoreboard. The Caps are tied up 2-2. They have a chance to win it. All I have to do is completely sweep the ANS team off the map. Ah, he's going after the offset scouts. No? Okay. Have you fired 3 containers off at Rizak? 5? It's still not enough. And Sarissa ship is just gonna pop these out of the sky. This is why I don't know if you got to see that much, but this is why I often follow my containers when I'm playing. For anyone who has watched the, I think, one video I have up of me actually playing the game, when they go out is, yeah, I could be firing off more, but being aware of what's on the field and what to watch out for, like a Sarissa ship hard countering your missiles, is a really important part of playing containers. These are all gonna get shot out of the sky, no way. No way. Well, this was too far ahead of his friendly PD screen. I mean, it has to be. This team has to go and cap Alpha as fast as possible. And yeah, Wavefire's gone in here to capture Delta. God, if the OSP fucking takes this at this point in the game, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna go out, buy a webcam, set it up, turn it on, and just froth at the mouth like a maniac, and just cover the whole screen with that in like a post-editing thing. Ooh, too fancy on the maneuvers. Oh, that's not gonna hit the wall. That is, however, gonna hit the Ready Genie. Glonk 2. Oh, the rest of these are gonna hit after those, yeah, because they knocked out some point defense. And Rizak is pretty much out of the fight, I think. I don't think this thing is coming back. It might even just explode. he's got 2 DC teams in the engine room, even though it's popping off. It's not gonna die. It's not gonna explode. Oh, somebody turned off his comms. Bonk. Yeah, gotta keep those on, buddy. But, that kind of fucked your ship a little bit, didn't it? Just a little bit. Mines are pretty good. Glad this guy's remembered to keep.
The enemy secured zone.
This guy's remembered to keep his comms on. The OSP's gonna win this. What game am I playing? What is this? I'm not even playing. I'm watching. I'm outraged. I'm horrified. I'm confused. I'm pained. Upper team getting fired upon. And not very good hits coming into these scouts. This is a destroyer. This is a destroyer. Why is this up here? Who makes a scout destroyer? This man is a silly Billy. I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's gonna have more health and generally be more survivable, but just the point cost. He's trying to sneak some more around. On the Ratty Genie has no idea that it's already dead. It's already dead! No!
The enemy is
Such a
securing
bully.
zone assets.
Yeah, and the OSP team is going to take Alpha, meaning the ANS team is going to have no caps, which means they lose. I don't know why Torakura has just avoided combat this entire time and stayed back. Surely he's figured out by now that these ships, which aren't firing back, are the guy who disconnected. I mean, I guess not. He's also using RPF on a Bulker, which is not what you want to be doing. They don't have much armor, but they do have armor. And RPF isn't going to do shit, as we're seeing here. Yeah, so I guess it was a fair fight. Because the OSP team had a guy who abandoned, and the ANS team had a guy who has only shot at the guy who abandoned.
The
Or
enemy
got
secured
disconnected
zone
for another
assets.
reason. So, yeah, this is a fair fight after all. It shouldn't have been. This is silly. Why are y'all doing this? Why is this guy doing this? I don't understand. They're just not paying attention as you see a contact and it's just like, ah, kill it. We got containers. I don't know if they're gonna loop around to hit Dodokyo's feet or if they're coming up to try and fight these scouts. How many missiles you got, Jeffo? A few. A lot of gunfire coming into this Rans. I still don't know. He's gone after Tokyo. This is another guy who's just not paying attention. Because this Sarissa has been an absolute menace. And he keeps firing his containers over here and they keep getting blown up. On these really long, clever flanks. And while if this ship wasn't here, these would get around this asteroid and into the back of this team and completely annihilate them in a point defense blind spot. But because the Sarissa ship... Oh, I lied. He's just... I have no idea where these are going. You forgot the last part of that plan where you slam into the back of your opponent because you can't fire through the engine. Point defense. Okay. Wow. Absolutely withering barrage of fire going into the Graft of Ingeberg. The Like Lad. Good names. Actual Hand, Benal, Adder. That's easy, Mystic Knight, Shadow Warrior. Wavefire really leaning into being an Ultra Weeb over here. I like it, I like it. This container group going in on the exact same path. Presumably gonna have the exact same, or they're not even gonna arc down. I have no idea what this container player is trying to do. Okay, they are gonna arc down, but they're waiting on. It's kind of wide. Of course, they're gonna be getting fired at by Sarissa's this whole time. Oh, they sniffed something. It might be these decoys. Yeah, it's decoys. Oh, this might get hit though. Good. Nope, not enough maneuverability. Zoop, zoop. So another sad container volley. AMMs appeared to be going after other AMMs or decoys. Pretty funny. Always fun to see when people don't carefully manage how they have their AMM set up. What targets they have them set to go after. It's just kill any missiles. You wind up with this. I don't think I've gotten it on video, but I have seen AMM v AMM just going hard. People being in close and someone fires off one torpedo. I think this happened before I was recording because this was ANS versus ANS. And then one person fires an AMM and the guy at the torpedo, and the guy who fired the torpedo fires an AMM at that AMM, and then the AMM, and it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then everybody runs out of AMMs. It's hilarious. Maybe he's firing the AMMs direct? Doesn't know that those aren't good for that. So yeah, now that Dorokyota has stayed off on his lonesome the whole fight, he's going to get surrounded and crushed by the combined might of the OSP fleet. Because teamwork is very important, as is map awareness. And this guy's just kind of been doing his own thing over here. Hasn't really been going after points or contesting points. Hasn't really been fighting anything meaningful, which is unfortunate. I think he could have gotten some real work done with this fleet. This fleet seems pretty robust, pretty capable, but doesn't matter if you don't use it properly. I don't understand what this container player is attempting to accomplish. He's fired off so many containers that are just going into the void. Now, they say S3H intercepts, but they're definitely being fired at ships. Yeah, this guy doesn't know. So for those of you who in the audience who also don't know, as AMM warheads can't damage, or effectively can't damage. I think they can in very specific circumstances. If you have like a ton of plasma on an already lightly armored ship. Anyways, they do very little damage. They're extremely light. And they have basically no armor penetration. You might get 1 or 2 centimeters on the bigger ones here. Yeah, me too, buddy. Whoops, caps lock. Be a little bit of a bully here. It's earned. Like, you gotta have teamwork in a team game, man. You can't be doing this. Oh, nice. Yeah, got the reactor crits. all of his RBF fire. Aside from his little Sarissa ship. The little Sarissa ship's shot real good. Yeah, it was a whack as fuck game. Dota Kyoto? Who's Duck? Wrong side. Ah. Our local container ship player. We almost did, buddy. You just managed to get out of the way until you drove into mines like a silly Billy. Alright, Dota Kyoto just gonna give it up. I'd be pretty pissed too, Tamaron. Get into a 4v3 and you're like, alright, do y'all want to leave or not? And they're like, I guess we'll stay. And then you just lose. What is that? Just walked away from his PC in annoyance.
5 minutes remain.
Alright. Let's get to this AAR. I wonder if shots against... Okay, there he goes. I wonder if shots against the DC ships count, because they weren't showing up on the map, but they did explode. I don't know. Let's take a look at Dota Kyoto's fleet. Yeah, so shots against even the shitty, useless RPF shots against the disconnected guy's fleet definitely counted. He didn't do any meaningful damage to anyone else. So that's where that all had to come from. Wow, Cletus McGreedy got eradicated. He couldn't do anything. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I was saying earlier that it looked like they were blobbing together and they weren't going to be able to win the points game. But they were able to do that because they won militarily. Blobbing up and rotating around the map. Very effective. Sad to see Tamarin having issues with understanding how the game's balanced. That's okay. A lot of people are silly. Boost! Yeah, his ships got waxed because he didn't really have enough point defense on them. They weren't pointed the right way either. Rizok, who is the newest player, I believe, based on the symbols on the lobby screen. I do a lot of motions with my hands, and it doesn't help. It doesn't come over well. It has done the most damage on this team, I think. The most important damage. I mean, this guy did a lot of damage, but it was to ships who were disconnected. Silly. Man, these Gunna cells did way worse than I was expecting. Because they were getting in fights. Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. Containers for life! Hell yeah, brother. Keep blessing it. Here's our DC guy. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, because the ships didn't get given to anybody. But they did drop onto the map. I don't know. There's Wayfire just pushing forward and shooting dudes. Wow. A lot of these must have just been unusable. Very interesting. But yeah, these bulkers just kind of walking forward and taking shots. Very nice. Performed pretty well, considering they didn't have... I'm not sure what they were getting their tracks from. They didn't seem to have that much. I don't think they had anything in the way of scouting, because this thing had bellbirds on it. And it had no nose point, which means no, bullseye? No. Whatever the fucking OSP version is of Bloodhound. Yeah, weird game. 40 minutes long game. Very slow game. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed. And good night.